Hello, and welcome to week 4 of Movement Mastery for the single arm control front exercise. In this week's video, I'll be going over the progression for our pinnacle exercise, as well as its 2 supporting exercises for this week. Now, this week we will actually be doing the traditional control front exercise. So we're gonna start on either one red spring, or you could be on a blue and a yellow. And this time we're gonna come onto the carriage, and instead of your feet being on the deck, we're gonna bring our feet up onto the foot bar. Again, let's start with our hands first though. So hands could be to the outside edges of the shoulder block, or you could grab the shoulder blocks, whichever version you prefer. And I'm gonna start with my left foot back onto the foot bar, and I'm gonna slowly press all the way out to a straight left leg. I'm gonna go ahead and start to engage through that quad and through that hamstring to stabilize my hips. I'm gonna scoop my belly in and up to engage through my core, and then I'm gonna pretend like I'm punching my hands down through the carriage as I lift my right leg up to meet it. All right, so I'm in this plank position here. Again, I wanna keep everything engaged to keep my torso still, and then from my shoulders, I'm gonna carefully inhale that carriage out as far as feels comfortable, and then slowly exhale as I bring it back underneath. So my hands are going out past my shoulders, and then exhale, bring my hands back under my shoulders. Inhale as you carriage out, exhale as you come in. Again, stay strong through the legs, strong through the core. Pretend like you're pushing that reformer into the ground with your hands. You can probably see my arm shaking here a little bit, because this is the last progression before we go into that single arm variation. Let's do 2 more here. Last one. And then carefully bring one knee down, bend your back leg, come all the way down onto the carriage. Give those hands a little shake out, wrists a little roll out. So again, that is our progression for the week. I want you to try that exercise first. We don't want to tire ourselves out, because that exercise requires a lot of strength and stamina to do. So you want to try that first, about 8 reps if you can manage it. So now we're gonna come into our supporting exercises. Today we're gonna come to seated, facing the top of the reformer. As I said earlier, we're gonna be working into our shoulders. So let's go down to one blue spring. Again, if you want to make this a little bit harder today to really strengthen your shoulders more, you might go up to a blue and a yellow, maybe even up to a red. But I recommend one blue spring. We're gonna start by grabbing our straps. Now, when we were just doing that exercise, we started with our hand directly under our shoulders, then we're having to use our shoulder strength to press that carriage past our shoulders and then bring it back underneath. We're gonna practice that same movement now here seated. So I want you to start with your hands at about shoulder height, palm down, thumbs face each other, sit up nice and tall. Again, engage that core, engage through your legs, keep everything stable. And then from the shoulder only, we're gonna lift our arms up and then slowly lower back down. Then lift the arms up. Again, we're working into our shoulders. We're working into the lower portion of our trap. I'm looking forward, not up, and I'm trying to keep my ribs pulled in here. So that core stays engaged to stabilize. Big exhale as we lift here. I know we were inhaling when we were in that plank position. We're gonna exhale here to help keep our ribs down. Let's do 2. 1. Excellent. All the way down. Roll your shoulders for a second. Little wiggle of the head side to side. So again, as we've been doing with our supporter exercises, I recommend doing that 2 times for anywhere between 10 and 12 reps. Now for your next exercise, what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually cross our straps over, and I want you to bring your forearms through the big loops. Again, we're gonna sit up nice and tall. We're gonna be working more on creating that activation through that lower portion of the trap, and then again, going into a little bit of a shoulder press. So we're gonna bring your elbows up to about shoulder height, squeeze your elbows together. So you're getting that protraction of the shoulder blades here. Scoop the belly in and up to create stability for the torso. When you're ready, exhale, open the arms out so that the arms come in line with your ears. Then from here, we're gonna inhale the arms up, exhale the arms down, inhale the arms forward. So again, exhale, open out, squeeze those shoulder blades together, scoop the belly up, inhale as you reach up. Again, try not to flare the ribs up. We want to keep the ribs down here. Lower the elbows down, tap the elbows together. So we're just working on building up that shoulder strength as our arms reach overhead. And this should be, again, decently difficult. We want to try and keep our hands and elbows back in line with our torso, especially as you reach up. You're trying not to let the arms pull forward until your elbows are back down in line with your torso. Let's do one more here. Excellent, and reach forward. All right, so again, we'll do that exercise twice. That exercise I honestly would recommend doing about 8 to 10 reps. So a few less reps there. It is quite a hard exercise to do even on just a blue spring. So you might even drop down to just a yellow spring on the high row, or just a very light spring there and go a lot slower. So that'll be it for week 4. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next week.